Hello, my name is Joe Strother, the Director of Sales here at FESA, Federal Employee Service Association. Today I'm going to walk y'all through the pay stub. We'll look at some behind the scenes, more concepts of the pay stub, and then we'll just go through a sample pay stub step by step. So, for this part of the training, be sure that you have that sample pay stub that was sent to you printed out. What's the point of the pay stub? It's rather simple. We're going to help each employee fully understand the ins and outs of their paycheck, all the deductions, and all of the allotments. This is purely educational. If you could make your entire presentation feel like the pay stub, then you are going to be able to effectively communicate, effectively kill buying guards, and help people have a lot better retirement if you can do that. The goal is to establish yourself as the expert, establish yourself as you're the guy here to help, the guys in the white hats, so to speak, through your knowledge as the anti or the unsalesman approach. We want to continue to develop that team player relationship in order to keep their buying guards down. See, the power start that we talked about killed all buying guards. The rest of your presentation is designed to keep those buying guards down, and we're going to do this by having that anti-salesman approach. We're just providing service, service, service. The pay stub itself is a real simple flow. If you have that in front of you, it goes from the left side, which is where we talk about the annual rate, and that's it. The middle, that's the meat. That's where we talk about everything. And then the right side has two little things, the sick leave and the annual leave. Speed kills. Do not go too fast and do not go too slow. We got to be Goldilocks. Be normal, be natural. This is just a conversation that you're having. You're exploring with them their benefits and how they're currently set up. Tell, don't sell, but always be closing. It's easy to remember. No, it's easy to forget that we're there to sell an annuity. You can get caught up in the education. You can get caught up in the excitement that they're having so much fun exploring this pay stub with you. But you want to be watching and observing them, watching and observing the environment. See which little code on that pay stub or topic gets them all excited. As a salesman, it's not this presentation that's going to make the sale. It's you and your ability to figure out what type of person you're dealing with and what's important to them, and adjusting your presentation accordingly. By maintaining your team player, by maintaining your anti-salesman approach, by simply just hammering in service, 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 you're going to be able to do that. If you're really focused on the next code or the next section, you're going to miss it, and you're not going to be able to effectively keep their buying guards down. Remember to be very clear and very organized in your thoughts. This pay stub, and we just said it goes from left side to the middle and to the right. You don't want to be bouncing from left side to right side to the middle to the right side to the left side. That's confusion. Confusion helps build the buying guards. Do they see you as a team player still? Are their buying guards still down? That's something you're going to observe. There's a lot of different signs that you can see if their buying guards are down. Are they engaging with you? It's okay to have dialogue. We're not in a rush to get through here. This pay stub is very fun to go through simply because it's short, it's sweet, it's powerful, and you are affirming what you just said in your power start. You're going to make sure you fully understand all your benefits and that you're not paying for benefits you don't need. So when you're going through here and talking about, well, this code is this benefit and this code is that benefit, you're just backing up what you said. That should keep their buying guards down, and they'll start seeing you as an expert, and they'll start seeing you as a person that's there to help. All of this service is for free. There are agencies out there that will charge to do what we're doing. This is all a free service. All right, if you have your pay stub out in front of you, that sample one, get it out if you don't already. I'm going to kind of just walk you through the different sides and kind of just unpackage them a little bit. The left side, that's that number right there in the sample. It's a little small because we're dealing with a younger individual in this sample. Most of the base rates you see are going to be in that low 60s to low 70s wheelhouse. It does not include any overtime or extra pay. And some of their benefits are based off of that number. We're going to say that every time. Not, hey, your rate's a little low, but the annual rate, this is your annual rate. This doesn't include any extra pay or overtime, and some of your benefits are actually based off of that amount. There's a bunch of other little things on here, like there's a little adjustment here they're getting paid for, et cetera, et cetera. We're not going to get into it. It's irrelevant. So they're going to be following you. When you practice, like right now when you're just now learning this, you're going to be looking at it and kind of following along like you are now. But you're going to know this pay stub and how it flows so well that you're actually going to be doing it upside down, pointing to them what you're talking about so that they're following along. This presentation is not about you, it's about them, and they need to be able to see where we're going. You're going to slide over to the middle. This is the meat. This is where all their codes are. This is all of their deductions and what's coming out of their pay stub. So at the very middle, you have your gross pay. That's what they're getting every 2 weeks. Then you have their federal taxes, state taxes, easy to explain. You can just point that out. And then you see this Retire 8. This is an exciting part. One, it tells you that they're a FERS employee. We're going to talk about that later in another training video. But Retire 8 simply means they're a part of the federal employee retirement system. Most of the people, 98% of the people you meet with, will be Retire 8. If they're really old school, you'll see a Retire 1. That's civil service. You won't run very many of those because they don't get TSP matching. So they typically don't have any or a very small amount in their TSP. And so there's nothing we can do to roll over. Sometimes we're just helping them for service. And then there's a Retire 5, which is a blend. If you see a Retire 5, just pick up and leave. No, just kidding. A Retire 5 is just a blend of benefits between the Retire 8 and the Retire 1. And we'll have some videos that talk about special cases. I'm not going to cover it here because most of the time you're going to be seeing Retire 8. And here's what we're going to talk about. You're going to say this every time. Now, Retire 8 tells me that you're a FERS employee. They're taking out $15.47 per pay period. This is the first part of your retirement, and there's 3 parts. And I'm going to total all these parts up later so that you'll get a good estimate of what your retirement check will be. This is your FERS annuity, which means once you retire, you're going to receive a monthly check for life that's actually based off of your annual rate. And this little number on the bottom right, most people don't know what it is. I don't even know why they have it there. It's that USPS retirement. Do you have any idea what that is? No. What it is just your total amount you have contributed to your FERS annuity up through the end of last year. You're going to say something along those lines every time. If you look at your notes and your training material, you'll see those key statements. Retire 8, it's right there. If you move on through here, you have Medicare. Government doesn't let you doesn't let you choose how much. They just told you that that's what you're putting in. UNR is a union due, and their union R is just whatever union they're in. Most of them just get thrown into one when they first get employed. There's a lot of different unions. It doesn't really mean much necessarily, and they usually just smile and nod. That IN2Z5, that's life insurance. The IN stands for insurance. That number following the IN is their age group. In this example, it's a 2. You'll never see that. You'll be seeing 6, 7, and 8. Those are the older people that will be eligible to do a rollover. And so in this example, it's just a younger individual. That Z5 is a different insurance code or different life insurance options that they're purchasing. And we'll cover that in a different video. Allotments. Postal employees have the ability to take up or set up allotments on their pay stub to buy stuff. A lot of times you'll see a couple of allotments maybe for like $10 a pay period or $50 a pay period. That could be charity. That's not uncommon to see. It could be a boat. It could be another life insurance policy that they have. It's good to ask them, what is that allotment, so that you can get a good idea of, what they're dealing with. Sometimes they'll say, I don't know what that allotment is for. Well, it would be a really good time to discover what it is. They can go online and look it up. It might be a life insurance policy they canceled 10 years ago. They might have a lot of money coming back to them. Again, this is just service, and it shows you diving into their lives, showing that you care, showing that you're interested and concerned for their actual situation. TSPLG, that's a loan payment. And we'll talk about the different rules with loans. They do not affect your, they won't prohibit you from doing a rollover if they do have a loan. But TSPLG is always a loan. HP 105, this could be HP, any random number. HP is just the health insurance that they have, and most of it's through Blue Cross, Blue Shield. TSP 06, TSP stands for Thrift Savings Plan. This is what we'll be doing the rollover with. They get matching up to 5%, so anytime I see 5 or higher, I'm excited because they're maximizing their benefit. This is one of those key statements where you're going to introduce, their savings plan is the second part of your retirement. That 06 is the percentage that you're currently put in. The percentage we're talking about is off of their base rate. So it doesn't include overtime or extra pay. They're just putting in 6% of their base rate. And then you can see these adjustments. Not every pay stub is going to have these. It's just like an error that they might have made. So they're adjusting accordingly. And then you see Social Security at the bottom, where you're going to introduce it. This is the third part of your retirement. Social Security, you don't really have any say on it, but you're here and you're definitely going to get it. And then we're going to reinforce and bring back up all the other parts. So you have your FERS annuity, which is retire rate. You're going to get a monthly check for as long as you live. The TSP, which you're currently putting 6% in, which is great. And your Social Security. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Those are going to be the 3 parts that make up your total retirement income. And then you'll just simply ask in the middle, do you have any questions? And they'll say no. And that's fine. Then over here on the right side, there's 2 things we're going to talk about. You have sick leave and annual leave. Sick leave, they're going to give you a time credit for whatever you have. It's better to use it than to try to save up for it, because what they're going to do, like their FERS annuity, that Retire 8 FERS annuity, is calculated based off of how many years they put in and their base rate. So let's say they retired with 30 years and they had 3 months of sick leave, then they're going to calculate their FERS annuity check based off of 30 years and 3 months rather than just 30 years. It's always hard time. You can't, like, let's say they want to have 30 years when they retire and they had 29 years and 10 months, 29 years and 10 months, and they had 2 months of sick leave, then that doesn't count as 30. You got to put in the hard time. But that's not going to affect your check very much. Unless they have close to a year of sick leave, it's better just to use it. in my opinion, because it doesn't. We're talking a few bucks. I mean, it's really small. So, but the sick leave at retirement, they're going to give you a time credit for any unused, and then the annual leave, if you have any left over, they're going to write you a check for it. It used to be use it or lose it, but now whatever remaining annual leave you have, they're going to give you cash. You can go online and just simply Google USPS Paystub codes. There's a lot of PDFs. In fact, we'll have those codes available for you. It's good to know them. You don't need to know all of them. The most common ones you'll see are right here, really, in this sample Paystub. It flows nice. It's short. It's sweet. You don't want to fly through this. You want to take your time, and you want to be sure that you are having them following along by having it right there in front of them. I'm going to do a run through like you would in the house. So have your key statements in front of you and listen as I go through this. I'll start at the bottom of the Power Start. Now I'll start with your pay stub. There's some codes on there I want to make sure you understand, and it's going to show me how you're currently set up with your benefits. Okay, thank you. All right, let me take a quick look at this. All right, follow along with me. Right here on this top left, this is your base rate or your annual rate. This does not include any overtime or extra pay, but some of your benefits are actually based off of this annual rate. Now, if you follow over here with me to the middle, you'll have your gross pay for this period. Then you have your federal taxes. Uncle Sam wants some money. Then they have their state taxes. State wants some money. And then you have this little code right here, Retire 8. This Retire 8 actually tells me that you're a federal employee. You're under the federal employee retirement system. You're a FERS employee. They'll usually nod and say that's correct. And I'll say, and you're putting in $15.47 a pay period. And if you look right here on this bottom right, do you know what that USPS retirement stands for? They usually say no. And I'll say, well, what that number actually is how much money you've contributed to your FERS annuity up until the end of last year. Now, this number does not impact how much your monthly check is going to be from your FERS annuity, but they just, for some reason, wanted to show you that that's how much you put in. Your FERS annuity is actually the first part of your retirement, and there's actually 3 parts. And I'm going to put all those parts together later, and it'll give you a good estimate of what your retirement income is going to be. That FERS annuity, what that means is you're just going to get a monthly check for as long as you live. This Medicare, you've been paying into it, and that you're putting in $31.17. This UNR, this is your union dues. Now this code right here, this IN2Z5, this is your life insurance. Those letters at the bottom, at the end of that tells me which different life insurance options you have, and we'll unpackage those here in a little bit. Now you have an allotment for $127. You know what that allotment's for? Oh, all right, very cool. A boat payment. Do you know about how much longer you have on that boat payment? About 10 more. Very good, very good. This TSPLG, this is a loan that you're repaying. About how much longer do you have on that loan? You don't know? Okay. Well, that's something I can help you figure out to see how much longer you'll be paying that $94.75. Now, this HP 105, this is your health insurance. Who's your provider? Blue Cross Blue Shield. You've been happy with them? All right. Excellent. Yeah, they're a massive insurance company. Now, this TSP 06, this is your thrift savings plan. And that 0.6 is what percent of your base rate that you're contributing to your TSP. It's really good that you're putting in 6%, and we'll talk about why that is here in a little bit. But this is the second part of your retirement. You have your FERS annuity, which will be a check that you'll get once a month for as long as you live. And then you'll have your TSP, which you'll be getting income from in retirement. And then you have some adjustments here. They just made some adjustments here on your pay stub, no big deal, rather common. And then you have Social Security, which is the third part of your retirement. You have the FERS annuity, your TSP, and your Social Security. Those three parts will make up your retirement income. Did you have any questions on the codes or anything right here? No? Excellent. Well, let's move on over here. We have sick leave. This is very simple. At retirement, they're going to give you a time credit for any unused sick leave that you have. That time credit actually goes to your FERS annuity check. So when you retire, how many years did you say you were going to have in when you retire next year? 25 years in? Well, let's say you had 6 months of sick leave. Then they're going to calculate your monthly check based on 25 years and 6 months rather than 25 years. The number is very, very small, and some people just say it's better to just use it if you'd wanted to. Now above it is your annual leave. This used to be a pure use it or lose it. Well, actually at retirement now they've made it so that any annual leave that you have left, they're actually going to just write you a little check for it. And so that's better than nothing. It's usually not very much. But that's your pay stub. Now, do you have any questions on that? No? All right. Well, the next thing that we're going to talk about is your group life insurance. All right. As you can tell, when you're going through a pay stub, it's very direct. It's very educational. There's no rush. I overemphasized in this example the three parts of their retirement. FERS annuity is a thing that you don't want to refer to it as retire aid anymore. Just say annuity, annuity, annuity. It'll help you at the end of your presentation when we start talking about annuities. But the more you could emphasize the three parts, that's why we're here, and the more that you can dive in and ask them questions about their allotment, about their loan, that's going to show you that, or show them that you care, that you're there to help them, because they're sitting in the dark. Their HR doesn't exist anymore. It's just a phone number. That's why agencies like us, FESA, popped up, because there's a need for us. And as you can tell when you go through this pay stub, it's just pure service and education, and keep it that way. If the rest of your presentation can feel and sound like this pay stub, then you're going to be in a really good position to communicate effectively. Keep working hard on your training. Have a good one.